Hey folks, welcome back to part 34 of manual testing series. In this video, let's talk about performance testing. What is performance testing and why it is used, and then what are the different types of performance testing that we have. All those we'll see in this video. Before we begin, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. Let's get started. Performance is crucial, especially when you want to deliver high quality software. When you are testing your application, you will test it from UI front and then how the functionality is. Okay, performance plays very important role when it is a public facing application and lot of users are using the application. Performance testing evaluates how a system performs in terms of responsiveness and stability under particular workload. Performance testing aims to examine the following factors, which are like speed, robustness, reliability, scalability, stability, and response time. Imagine you're working on a e-commerce application. In e-commerce application, you know that lot of users will be using the application at the same time. Okay, we are testing the application. We will be just one or two users or couple of users only will test it. Okay, but how the application behave when there is a lot of users are using the application at the same time. You can think of Amazon. Okay, Amazon is an e-commerce website. You know that lot of users will be using the application at same time, right? So in that case, how the application should behave now? It should behave same for everyone. Sometimes you might have faced issues like server error or server is not responsive, such error messages or server unavailable. You might have noticed when you launch any of the website, right? It is because of it is not able to, the server is not able to handle the load speed. It measures how quickly the system responds to user interaction or complete tasks. Okay, sometimes you see that there will be a delay in response. Whatever the response you get, it will be like very slow. You might notice and then you might think that why it is too slow, right? So that also could be the reason. The application must be tested fine for that. From all these aspects, the application should be tested. Robustness assesses the system's ability to handle stress and maintain performance under unexpected conditions. If there is any unexpected condition that happen, suppose say there is the server error which I mentioned some time back. So right, in that case, how quickly it is able to handle, how much time it takes to come back to the original, you know, state. So all that matters. Reliability evaluates the consistency of system performance over time without failures. Okay. Scalability. Scalability tests the system capacity to maintain performance level as the workload increases. Sometimes, in case of any of the sale or any of the offer, uh, sometimes at that time there will be a peak number of users will be using. Normally, if let's say at the same time, if 1 or 2 lakh people are using, okay, if there is any special offer or something is given, big billion day sale, something like that, at that time a lot of users start using it, right? In that case, obviously it will spike. The users start using that application will increase. In that case, how it is working, all these aspects will be validated as part of the performance testing. Stability. It checks the system's ability to perform steadily under normal and peak load conditions without crashing. Crashing also should not happen, and the time takes to respond to users, all those things will be making sure as part of the performance testing. So it is important to check the speed, robustness, reliability, scalability, stability, how stable it is. All these things we need verify. And then the response time measures the time it takes for the system to respond to the user inputs or requests. Okay, all these things will uh, be validated as part of the performance testing. All these are the important aspect of the performance testing. Why performance testing is crucial? So we already spoke, we already saw, I already gave you an example, right? Why it is important. So, but let's understand why it is important. Because performance testing ensures faster and more reliable applications, which leads to higher user satisfaction and retention. From the application perspective, when you are creating a brand, say, let's say we have a lot of e-commerce applications like Myntra, Amazon, Flipkart, right? So, usually, because of the trust, okay, they have gained. Hmm? Because of the application, how it is behaving. Based on that, users will go to the application and use it again and again, right? So to make it happen, first we have to ensure it is faster and then more reliable application, so which will increase the customer satisfaction. The trust that we build is through this. The performance of the application matters, though for an user it is just an UI, but behind the scene APIs is what which will fetch the details, okay, which will show up all the details, right? So all these things needs to be taken care. With performance testing, testers can identify performance bottlenecks and issues early in the development process, reducing the risk of failures in the production. Okay, so it will help us to identify the performance bottlenecks. If any, suppose application is there which cannot withhold the spike. If any 10,000 users start using it, till 10,000 users, it is able to balance. If goes above 10,000, okay, it is not able to handle. So those things can be identified, because in real, the conceptually, if you understand it very well, it will definitely help you while doing the performance testing, actual performance testing. This testing approach ensures the application remains stable under different load and stress conditions. So with the help of it, we can ensure the application remains stable under the different loads. Okay, how much ever different types of performance testing we will perform to ensure how it is behaving whenever a certain amount of spike or certain amount of load is being applied onto the application. Performance testing is helpful understanding in understanding and optimizing how the application uses system resources like CPU, memory, and network bandwidth. So, from the perspective of how the server behaves, right? How the CPU utilization happens, and then the memory utilization happens, okay? And how much memory it consumes, network, all these things can be, if any issues are there, we can identify it early with the help of the performance testing. This testing confirms that the application can handle an increase in users and data volume without compromising on the performance. How much ever users can use it, that doesn't matter. The performance is been the same for everyone. Each of them are experiencing the same experience, which means that for one person, if it loads properly, and then for the other user, it is not at all loading. So there is a difference of experience each user faced, right? So to avoid it, we can perform this early. Performance testing help to reduce the cost associated with performance issues by addressing them before the deployment, even before we deploy to the production. So in real time, how it handles, okay, we have to release it and then we have to see how the application is performing. But with the help of performance testing tools like K6, right? So with the help of it, you can verify how it is behaving. Okay, and you can put on the load how much were you require, and then you can check in this case how it is behaving. Okay, all those things you can make sure, and which will help you to save the cost, okay, early. If the same thing happens in the production, it is costlier to fix it, right? So that's the reason performance testing helps us to reduce the cost. Performance testing is crucial in ensuring the application complies with industry standards and regulation regarding performance and reliability. Okay, so all these things is verified as part of the performance testing, and with the help of it, it plays a crucial role. Basically, it plays a crucial role. So all these points you just make a note of it, so that you will understand why it is important when you are using the application. You just try to understand. Okay, different types of performance testing. Okay, let's see one by one. Load testing. Load testing help determine how the system behaves under a specific expected load, such as number of users or transactions. Okay, we will make certain amount of users using it, and then we'll perform the transaction. Let's say we are applying a load of 15,000 to 20,000. That is the expected load, let's say. Okay, in that case, how the application is behaving. Okay, that can be verified as part of load testing. It is performed by gradually increasing the load on the system until it reaches its maximum operating capacity. Okay, at the same time, how much ever it can handle, that much load will be applied to verify how it is behaving, how the application is behaving. Here, functionality doesn't matter, because performance testing is non functional testing. Here, we will not verify any specific functionality, that you have to remember. Testers monitor the system performance, response times, resource utilization to identify the bottlenecks and determine maximum load the system can handle efficiently. Okay, if the system can handle like 1 million users at the same time, which is well and good, right? Is it able to handle 1 million users at the same time? You can verify that as part of the load testing. Sometimes, at this one time, the load will be like little less, like 10,000, 15,000. It will be able to handle it properly. Okay, because the load is very less and it gradually increases. Okay, in some time the uh, graph goes little higher. That case, how it is handling? Is it working fine, or is there any issue it is causing when the load increases? That you have to verify. Stress testing. With stress testing, testers can evaluate the system's stability and reliability under extreme conditions beyond the normal operational capacity. Testers intentionally overload the system to the point of failure to observe how it handles high stress. This involves increasing the number of simultaneous users, data processing demands, or transaction loads to levels beyond the expected peak usage. In load testing, whatever is expected amount, when I apply that much load, whether it is working fine or not, we will verify. But in stress testing, we are intentionally increasing the load beyond the capacity it can handle. Okay, suppose 1 million users at the same time, if the application can handle, if I'm applying like 1.5 million users, in that case, I'm creating a stress on the application. So, which is you can understand it like you're applying the load which more than it can handle, more than the capacity of the application that it can handle. So in that case, how it is behaving, so this we will verify as part of the stress testing. Spike testing. Spike testing is performed to test systems reaction to certain large spike in load. Testers rapidly increase to load to simulate scenarios such as flash sales or viral events, and then observe the system's behavior. So here there is a quite difference between load, stress, spike, and the next testing, whatever comes. Because in load testing, we will put the load of whatever it can handle. In stress, we are putting the load which it more than what it can handle. And in the spike testing, we will gradually increase the number of users. We will, increase the number of users, and we will simulate the scenario in which it is see some case, in case of the viral events, then how the system behaves if there is a gradual increase in the number of users, how the system behaviors, right? That also we will verify. This helps to identify how well the system can handle sudden increase in demand and whether it can recover quickly after the spike. Okay, right? So you must be seeing the social media platforms, right? The social media platforms, all of a sudden, there will be some spike. If some video goes viral or something, you might be knowing, right? At that time, there will be a sudden spike in the number of users using it. So that is how it is able to handle, okay, how the performance is. Okay, that we will check in the spike testing. And next is endurance testing. Endurance testing can check system performance over an extended period to identify issues like memory leak. Testers run system under a critical load or an extended duration, monitoring its behavior and performance metrics continuously. Okay, certain times what happens is it, same amount of load will be there. Okay, same amount of test load for much longer period of time you will apply on the system, and then see how it behaves. All these type of testing is required because in real time these cases plays an important role. Okay, when you are have the application deployed and it is in production, at that time these kind of variation is happen will happen. It is very common that sometimes there will be a spike, sometimes there will be you know stress testing. Stress, I mean to say that sometimes whenever there is some event or something, that time there will be more users using it. So all those things you have to cover as part of this, right? This type of testing helps to ensure that the system can maintain its performance levels over time without degradation. Same amount of load will be put on for a longer time. So with the help of it, we can verify if there is any memory leak. Okay. Scalability testing. Based on load demands, scalability testing lets testers assess the system ability to scale up or scale down. Sometimes there will be a sudden spike, sudden amount, lot of users start using it. How it behaves. If there is sudden down in the application, I mean the users or the data processing that happens. Okay, that time how it handles. That we can verify as part of the scalability testing. This testing helps to determine the maximum load the system can handle before performance degrades and whether it can efficiently scale to meet increased demand. Okay, so there is a slight difference between each of the testing. Okay, so in this scalability testing, we will verify if there is sudden increase in the load or if there is sudden decrease in the load, how it behaves. Suppose there is a sudden decrease in the load and then all of a sudden it increases. Okay, how scalable it is. Okay, how efficiently it behaves. Okay, how the performance is. Volume testing. Volume testing, we can examine the system's performance with a large volume of data. Testers load the system with significant amount of data to evaluate how it handles large data sets and whether it can process, retrieve, and manage the data efficiently. Okay. In case of there is high volume of data processing, all these things are happening, fetching operations are happening, how it is behaving, okay, how the data management efficiently it is happening, all these things we can verify in the volume testing. This type of testing helps identify performance issues related to database size, file system, and the capacity and the data handling capabilities. The help of the volume testing also we can see that how it is behaving. So hope you got the different types of performance testing and what is performance testing and why it is crucial. All the details hopefully you have got in this video. If you have liked this video, please do like it, share it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.